What up? This is going to be a long one, so buckle up. We are back on Project Brown, baby. So I thought about just uploading the next video in line, but I figured I'd give you a quick overview of what I've been doing the past year and a half or so and the different things we've done to Project Brown since then. So last year I helped a couple buddies race in Moto America, which is the pro motorcycle series in America. They did that and then some endurance racing. I was mechanic, pit crew, and videographer. Did some pretty cool stuff with them, and we had a lot of fun out there. Got to visit a lot of tracks that are my favorites and a couple new tracks. I'll have a link down in the description to their channel if you want to go check out some of the videos I made for that. I also ride a motorcycle myself and do paint and body repairs, fiberglass repairs, all that kind of cool stuff. So if you want to see more of that stuff, I have my personal channel linked down in the description below as well. Now on to Project Brown. So we made some really good progress with the truck. Kind of stalled out when it got to like the floor pans, because that's really the next big step in it, is getting the floor pans in, then I can get the rest of the interior back together. I don't want to put the whole dash in and have all that nice and neat and put all the windows and rebuild the doors and everything and then be welding and grinding on the inside. I'm gonna wait until we get all that floor stuff done, and then we're gonna get back to it. So sit back, enjoy. It's just gonna be a really brief overview of the stuff I've done. I had a whole video kind of mapped out, but like I said, I kind of stalled out and then got busy with other stuff. So I'm just gonna make a quick recap video and then we'll try to get back to like a regular upload schedule, maybe like once a month or something from here. Peace. All right, here we go. So a while ago, I bought the new interior door panels from LMC Truck. They're saddle brown to match the original interior. I also got the plastic pieces that go behind the door panel to kind of seal up the openings. Also got new window regulators, so we should be good to go there. These did not come with armrests. Those will be later on down the line. After removing the entire interior, there were lots of cracks in the dash and areas where cracks may develop due to it just being a weak point. I used fiberglass to reinforce the dash cover and tried to manage some of those cracks and prevent some future ones. The metal frame that was on the back of the dash, I scuffed it, painted it. It was pretty rusted, just a little bit of surface rust from the truck sitting for years and windshield leaking on one side. Dash is now reassembled and good to go once the floor pans are finished up, but more on that later. Not much has changed under the hood since the last video. The only more modification that I have done has been to add this fiber tape to give the wires a more factory look. Just kind of went through all the wires I could get to and tidy them up a little bit. We'll probably do a little bit more of that later on as well. Now back to the interior. So a lot of work has been done. I removed the old window regulators, which actually turned out to be a major pain to drill out those stock rivets. Sound deadener was installed in the doors to try and keep them quieted down. I'll probably end up adding a little more under the door panels. Once those were out, I pulled the corner windows out, and the frames were a little bit rusty and dingy, so we went ahead and disassembled the corner window, scuffed everything really good, and sprayed with a little bit of gloss black spray paint to make them look nice. The window seals for these corner windows as well, I'm going to replace. Those are available from LMC Truck. They're not that expensive, so once everything starts going back together for the interior and the doors, we're going to order those up and get those replaced. So today's project's going to be the interior. We're going to get some degreaser going. I'm going to clean up all this stuff. You can see it's kind of a little bit nasty, so gonna clean it up good, getting it prepped for sound deadener, all that kind of good stuff, heat shield. Also, we're gonna run a little bit of paint over some of this stuff. You can see where it's rusted. So the firewall and right above the floor pans is a little bit rusty, as I said earlier, from the windshield leaking. So I'm gonna go ahead and get it scuffed, and we're just gonna spray it with some cheap spray paint. Nothing crazy. This is all gonna be covered with sound deadener and insulation later on down the line. So I did install a little bit of sound deadener and then some insulation over the top of that. The insulation is some cheap stuff from Amazon. It didn't really stick all that well. Looks pretty good in the video here, but it actually peeled back off a little bit. So I'll probably go back over that with some spray adhesive before we go back on fully with the dash. Oh boy, floor pan time. So the floor pan has actually been cut out on both sides already, so the new ones can be fitted and installed. This is where the project has kind of stalled out. I was wanting to get them really dialed in, super clean looking, but at this point, I'm ready just to get everything in and weld them in. Everything's going to be coated very well with some weld-through primer, seam sealer once they're done, but we're not going crazy on fit and finish to make everything look absolutely perfect. These floor pans and outer floor pans and all are going to be covered in a ton of sound deadener, insulation, and carpet eventually. I have the rocker panels and outer floor pans as well. The outer floor pans are the piece next to the floor pans under the door and with the door seal attached to them. Those will be replaced, but I probably won't mess with the rocker panels until I do like a full frame off restoration, if that ever happens. And yeah, so there she is. Now for the outside of the truck. So the underside of the bed, just hit it with a good old scuff and spray. It's gonna be painted up just like the frame was. Nothing too crazy, just some Rust-Oleum oil base. So we went ahead and reinstalled the bed. I haven't bolted it down fully yet. There's a couple of things like the fuel fill hose. It still needs to be installed. It actually needs to be purchased for that matter. You can see it in the truck bed right here, but that one's actually extremely dry rotted. It's from 1984, so it really needs to be replaced. That probably needs to stay there. Maybe? I don't know. I need the blue one to get there too. Wiring at the back of the truck was a big task I've been wanting to knock out since I got the truck pretty much. There were a couple different trailer light wiring kits and parts of the aftermarket cruise control kit just all mangled up down there. It was just a rat's nest of wires. There's a plug about halfway down the bed under the truck where all of the rear wiring connects. That plug has since been replaced with a WeatherPack connector. Everything basically from that connector on back has been replaced as well. We went full brand new wires everywhere, brand new wire loom, new trailer plug. The whole kit's been replaced. Actually looks really nice, turned out great. None of this wiring has officially been tested yet, so hopefully it all works. I believe it will. I got my pinouts right on the original connector, so hopefully this does turn out how I want it to. But once the interior's back together and we get power back to the truck, we're gonna test everything and make sure it all works well. Look at that. So they're in there, but I don't know. It's cheap. I don't have the right crimpers, so you know how it goes. All right, let's do the female side. That'll be on the truck, and then we're gonna hook her up.